Hello all, in today's video we are going to discuss about the Chabahar port issue. Recently Iran government decided to start the construction of the Chabahar port Zahadan railway link. This Chabahar port Zahadan railway link was planned to be jointly developed with India, that is India's public sector enterprise called Ircon International. But what Iran government did was it considered that India was delaying the project, and hence it started its project without India's participation. After the diplomatic objection given by the India, what the transport minister of Iran said was, we are starting the project without India now, but India can join the project anytime they want. So that was the assurance which was given by him. So in this background, what we are going to see is, we are going to discuss about this Chabahar port issue with respect to the UPSC preliminary and mains point of view. This Chabahar port is a very important pillar in India-Iran relations and also in the India-Afghanistan relation. So we will discuss about the importance of Chabahar port and the various timeline of the entire issue, and we will also discuss about the international North-South transport corridor. So INSTC is a related, is a concept which is related to this Chabahar port issue, and we will also discuss about the famous Ashgabat agreement between the India and the Central Asian nation. So we will discuss all the three topics with respect to preliminary. So this Chabahar port is located in the Makran coast. So it is located in the Makran coast of the Iran. Okay, so it is an oceanic port of Iran. So it is the only oceanic port, because the only other port which Iran has with respect to trade is the Bandar Abbas port, which is located here in the Strait of Hormuz. But since it is located in the strait, the capacity of the ships which can move in is limited. So this Chabahar port is only oceanic port which Iran has, and it is strategically important to Iran. This Chabahar port is also strategically important to India, because India decided to take and develop 2 berths here. So Chabahar port is having 10 berths. So apart in the 10 berths, Indian government decided to take 2 berths, and they decided to develop those 2 berths. So berth here means it is like a platform where the ship goes and docks in the port. So India decided to take the 2 berths and they decided to develop it. So why India wants to develop it? India wants to develop it because with the aiming of connectivity with Afghanistan. So India is actually sharing a border with Afghanistan here. But what happened, since this region is lying in as Pakistan occupied Kashmir, India is not having direct road link with Afghanistan. So India had to depend on Pakistan for any transport with Afghanistan. You would have also seen recently that Pakistan government allowed the Afghanistan government to do the transit in order to export the goods to India. So that was only recently, but not earlier times. Earlier times Pakistan was denying the trade route. Since Pakistan was denying, India wanted to bypass the Pakistan and reach Afghanistan. So they wanted an alternative route, and that alternative route was Chabahar port. So the ultimate aim of the Indian government is to, so number 1 is to develop 2 berths. So Chabahar port has 10 berths. From the 10 berths, Indian government will develop 2 berths and then connect this Chabahar port with Afghanistan. Ultimately, we are planning to link with Afghanistan. So how they are going to connect? They are going to connect by launching a multimodal corridor, transport corridor. Okay. So in this multimodal transport corridor will construct of, it is called multimodal because it consists of both road and railways. So there is road and there is railway also. India is planning to construct a road and railway line starting from Chabahar port to connecting with Zahadan, and then from Zahadan to Zaranj, and from Zaranj to Delaram. So by constructing a road and railway line, it will go parallelly. Road will also go like this, and parallelly railway link also will go. So they are going to construct this transport corridor in order to transport the goods. So if India want to export any goods, they will from Kandla port or Mumbai port, they will send the goods to Chabahar port. From there it will be transported in the road or railways to Afghanistan. So this is the ultimate aim. So there is this Garland road in Afghanistan which connects the entire Afghanistan. It starts here in Herat. So Herat is city located here, and it goes like this. If you could see in the map, it goes like a garland in Afghanistan. So this is called as Garland road. It is one of the famous highway of Afghanistan. It connects Herat here, then Delaram here, and you have Kandahar here. Kandahar, you know the flight incident. Then you have Kabul here and Mazari Sharif here. So these are all the 5 important cities connected by this Garland road. It is already developed highway of Afghanistan. So India just wants to connect this corridor with this famous highway. So by connecting, so we can establish a good connectivity. So this is the ultimate aim of Indian government. Of this project, already Indian government constructed this Delaram Zaranj roadway successfully. This roadway link is already established. Now the rest is, we have to connect a railway link here. So that railway link project only was delaying for so long. Now Iran government decided to construct this Chabahar Zahadan railway link without the Indian government's approval. So that is the ultimate thing. But there is another thing here. Iran government also planning to extend this roadway to till Mashhad. So this is the Mashhad city. So this is the Mashhad city located in Iran, and it wants to connect it to Turkmenistan also. So this is the Sharks city. So there is a city called Sharks here, and this is a city called Mashhad. So Iran government also wants to extend it to connect with the Turkmenistan based on the Ashgabat agreement. We'll see what is Ashgabat agreement later. And also it plans to extend it from Zahadan to Bandar Anzali. So this Bandar Anzali port is located in Caspian Sea. It also wants to extend this Zahadan link till Bandar Anzali in order to link with international north-south transport corridor. So these are all the two other initiatives, international initiatives. So Iran wants to link this Chabahar port project with these two international initiatives. So we are going to discuss about those two international initiatives also in this video. So this is a brief background of the Chabahar port project. So now let us see the timeline of the entire project. So this Chabahar port project was launched in 2003. In 2003, India and Iran, that time the Prime Minister was Vajpayee. Under Vajpayee government, they signed a strategic agreement with Iran to launch this Chabahar port project. Even though the project was launched in 2003 itself, it wasn't started. Why it wasn't started? Because of the sanctions. So US imposed the sanctions on India. Since there were sanctions on India, India couldn't start the project in 2003 itself. So since so till then, what Indian government did, till the sanctions are over, let us at least start the Afghanistan part of it. So Indian government decided to develop the highway till then, till the sanctions are over. So by 2008 itself, we completed this entire Delaram Zaranj highway, and in 2015, the Obama administration decided to lift the sanction with Iran because Iran and P5+1 deal. So Iran and P5+1 nuclear deal is also known as Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action. Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action, or Iran P5+1 deal. P5 means permanent nations. So permanent members of United Nations Security Council, that is USA, UK, Russia, France and China. So these 5 nations along with Germany, so that is P5+1, along with Germany, signed a nuclear deal with Iran, and they decided to remove all the sanctions on the Iran. So Iran was facing the sanctions since they were developing the nuclear weapons without any global approval. It was suspected that they were developing the nuclear weapons without global approval. So United States imposed the sanctions on them. In 2015, the Obama administration decided to remove the sanction based on JCPOA. So once these sanctions were lifted, in 2016, Prime Minister Modi visited Iran and he jointly signed an MOU to develop the 2 terminals. That is the 2 terminals in the Shahid Beheshti port. So Chabahar port is also called as Shahid Beheshti port. In the Shahid Beheshti port, India decided to develop 2 terminals, that is 2 berths. Okay. Another milestone was on the same year, a trilateral agreement was signed between Afghanistan, Iran and India. Okay, Afghanistan, Iran and India for the establishment of international transport and transit corridor. This was also signed. So all the 2 projects were signed and they started. So now what will happen with the signing of the trilateral agreement? So first, initially with the signing of the MOU, India will construct this railway line till Zaranj. With the signing of the trilateral agreement, all the 3 nations will cooperate now further for the transit agreement. So by 2018, the roadways was developed. So initially already the roadway was ready. So already there is a road which is connecting Chabahar to Zaranj. That road is already existing. India just extended the road, and that road was ready by 2018. So in 2018 we launched the first shipment. India exported the first shipment from Kandla port. That is, we exported wheat to Afghanistan. It reached Chabahar port. From Chabahar port through road it reached the Afghanistan. So that was the first project. But in 2018 another major shift took place, that is reimposition of sanctions on Iran. So in 2018, Trump administration decided to reimpose the sanction because Trump is against Iran. Here 2015 the sanctions were lifted by US government because Obama wanted to establish peace, but Trump was against Iran and he reimposed the sanctions again. Since he reimposed the sanction again, this entire Chabahar port project was starting to delay. Now we already launched the highway. Now only thing is railway link only is left. So that railway link project was to start by 2018, but it couldn't start because of the sanctions. So Indian government asked for the waiver. Trump administration decided to give waiver for the India. So they decided to give waiver for India from this sanction for this launch of the Chabahar project, because this is not only related to Iran but also it helps in development of Afghanistan. So US aims in development of Afghanistan and establish peace there. Since this project might establish peace and develop Afghanistan, US government decided to exempt this Chabahar Port project of India from the sanctions. So on the procedure la mudiyarthukku it took a year. So by 2019 India got the waiver and India decided to start the project. Indian government gave the power to IRCON International. So IRCON International, that is Indian Railways Construction Private Limited. So IRCON International is a public sector enterprises of Ministry of Railways. It is a wholly owned company of Government of India registered under Companies Act. So this company carries out the railway infrastructure projects abroad. So international level rail laying project or road laying project. So not only rail, apart from rail, other projects also it is taking. Any infrastructure connectivity projects it carries out now. So India appointed this IRCON International as the company to construct for the construction. Similarly, Iran government also appointed a company. So Iran government's company was called Construction Development of Transportation and Infrastructure Company. So Iran gave the power to Construction Development of Transportation Infrastructure Company, but this CTTIC was under sanctions. So US government imposed sanctions on this company. So what Indian government said, Indian government requested Iran to change the company, but Iran was reluctant in changing the company. So this process was going on and that led to certain delays. Since the delays were going on, suddenly what happened, in 2020 Iran decided to carry forward with the project without IRCON. நாங்களே இந்த ப்ராஜெக்ட் கட்டிக்கிறோம், எங்ககிட்டே காசு இருக்கு, வில் ஸ்டார்ட் த ப்ராஜெக்ட்னு 2020 அனௌன்ஸ் பண்ணிட்டாங்க. அதான் இப்போ ரீசெண்ட் நியூஸ். ஆஃப்டர் திஸ் நியூஸ் வாட் ஹேப்பன்ட், இந்தியன் கவர்மெண்ட் அப்ஜெக்டட் டிப்ளமேட்டிக்கலி. சின்ஸ் இந்தியன் கவர்மெண்ட் அப்ஜெக்டட், வாட் Iran government decided was, we are starting the project with whatever funds we have, and once the Indian government, whenever Indian government wants to join, they can come and join ங்கிற மாதிரி finally they accepted. So that is the brief timeline of this entire Chabahar Port incident. So as of now, this Dilaram Zaranj highway is constructed. Already this highway is also constructed. Zahadan Zaranj highway also is constructed. Now the railway link project has been started by the Iran government without India. So that is this Chabahar Zahadan railway link. So from Kandla and Mumbai directly we can now export to Iran. So now let us see about the Chabahar Port. This Chabahar Port consists of two paint terminals, Shahid Kalantari and Shahid Beheshti. So each has 5 berths. So of the 5 of the Shahid Beheshti, Indian government is taking 2 and developing. So that is one thing. So remember the name Shahid Kalantari and Shahid Beheshti is seen in news is related to what? Like that they can ask a question. So that is one dimension. Now let us see the prospects of the Chabahar Port. What are all the advantages for each nation? What is the advantage for India? India can bypass the Pakistan and directly they can reach Afghanistan. No more we are concerned about Pakistan now. So that is first advantage. Second, it boosts the trade of India. India's trade with Afghanistan. That is one main advantage. Another main advantage is oil and steel imports. See, Indian government can now easily import oil. So if you could see here, so there is a gas field in Iran. So that gas field is located in this region called Farzad. So it is also called as Farzad B gas field. Indian government decided to exploit the oil and gas from the Farzad B gas field, and it decided to connect it with the Chabahar Port and take it back to India. So India is deciding to import the oil from Farzad B gas field, and also India decided to develop a steel mine. There is a iron ore mine here, not steel mine, iron ore mine. So there is an iron ore mine in Afghanistan. It is called as Hajigak mine. So from this Hajigak mine, India has decided to mine the iron and import the iron from Afghanistan. So iron from Afghanistan will come to Chabahar Port. At the same time, oil from Farzad B will come to Chabahar Port, and both oil and gas will be imported by India. So that is another plan by India. So India decided to import the oil and steel from Afghanistan. So that is one thing. Next, access to Central Asia. So with the construction of this Chabahar Port project, an international north-south corridor, which we will see later, what will happen? The connectivity of India with the Central Asian nations like Kazakhstan, Uzbekistan, Turkmenistan, all these nations will increase. So that is an advantage. Not only with Afghanistan and Iran, but also with all these nations, the connectivity is going to increase. Again, this project will lead to development of Afghanistan, and it will help in solving the Afghanistan crisis. Since India wants to take part in Afghanistan, solving the Afghanistan crisis, this will provide the strategic advantage for India to solve the dispute, because it is going to provide some development in Afghanistan. Since it is going to provide some development in Afghanistan, India will get the goodwill in Afghanistan. So that is one dimension. one important strategic reason is the Gwadar port. So this Gwadar port is a port which is located in the Pakistan Balochistan region. So Pakistan's Balochistan province is located here, and here you are having Gwadar port. Okay, this Gwadar port is being developed by China. So what China is doing doing a similar thing. China is constructing a corridor called China-Pakistan Economic Corridor. So this China-Pakistan Economic Corridor starts from the Xinjiang province. So this is Xinjiang province in China. So from Xinjiang province, it passes through Pakistan occupied Kashmir. So that is another strategic concern which India said. It passes through Pakistan occupied Kashmir and it reaches the Gwadar here, and they are also developing a Gwadar port. So China might keep their navy also here because Pakistan is their friend and Pakistan will allow, which is strategically closer to India. So in order to check the operation of Gwadar port, India developing the Chabahar port is also strategically, it is very important for India. So that is one of the strategic importance of the Chabahar port. So for Afghanistan, there will be reduced dependency on Pakistan. So presently what Afghanistan is doing, since Afghanistan is landlocked here, so it is completely using the Karachi port. So whenever Afghanistan wants to export something through ports, since it is landlocked, it is not having any ports, it transports everything to Karachi and exports from Karachi, and it is solely dependent on Karachi. So by development of Chabahar port here, it will provide an alternative route for Afghanistan to export, and it will reduce the dependency of Afghanistan on Pakistan. This reduced dependency on Afghanistan is advantageous because Pakistan is also controlling the affairs of Afghanistan. So construction of Chabahar, now what is happening? Afghanistan is no more, it will be dependent on Pakistan, and hence it is an advantage for India. So India also does not want Afghanistan to go with Pakistan. So thirdly, for Iran, what is the advantage is that Indian investments in Chabahar port. So Iran government, what they have done is they have converted this Chabahar port region as a special economic zone, Chabahar economic zone. So it is called as Chabahar Special Economic Zone. In this Chabahar Special Economic Zone, Indian government decided to set up a aluminium smelter. Aluminium smelting means aluminium will be produced there, and that aluminium also can be imported by India also. So aluminium smelter and urea manufacturing facility. So this urea manufacturing facility and aluminium smelter will improve the industrialization of Iran, and this will increase the India's investments in Iran. So that is advantageous for Iran because they are getting investments from India, and also strategic rebalancing for Iran. Iran's relationship with India is also strategic because in this West Asia, Iran is hostile. From one side Saudi Arabia is a enemy of Iran, and other side Israel is enemy. So when there are two enemies in the region, it needs another strong power of the region as its ally. So India is that strategic power which will act as an ally for Iran in this Middle East. Apart from that, in Afghanistan, Iran also objects the Taliban government, same as India. So Iran also doesn't want this Taliban government to come in Afghanistan. India is also wishing Taliban government should not come in Afghanistan. So we are having this strategic interest. So this strategic interest will help in rebalancing of the West Asian, that is Middle East diplomacy. So that is the prospects for Iran. So the next topic which we are going to see is International North-South Transport Corridor. This International North-South Transport Corridor is a Russia-centric initiative. If you could see here, if at all India wants to export something to Russia or any Southeast Asian, so any South Asian or Southeast Asian, if they want to export anything to Russia, what will happen? Initially they have to cross this Gulf of Aden. So they have to move through this Bab el-Mandab Strait. So this is Bab el-Mandab Strait. They have to move through Bab el-Mandab Strait, and they have to move towards the Red Sea, and they have to cross the Suez Canal and reach the Mediterranean Sea, and then circumvent the entire Europe and reach the Russia. So if you want to ship any goods, it has to do this entire process, or they can go to Greece here, and from Greece they can take it through roadways. So this is the long route. In order to shorten this route of Russia, because Russia is also not having direct connectivity to ocean. That is one of the strategic disadvantage of Russia. In the western side, Russia is not having any strategic link to ocean, and all the ocean which is available in the north are frozen. So it is always dependent on this North Sea and the Baltic Sea. This is against the strategic interest of Russia. So Russia also wants to improve the connectivity through some short routes. So in order to improve that connectivity with the short routes, they launched this initiative called International North-South Transport Corridor, which connects the Russia with the Indian Ocean directly. So now in this project, what they are going to do is they are going to construct a a multimodal terminal. They are going to construct a multimodal terminal starting from Mumbai. From Mumbai, it will reach this is Bandar Abbas. This is Bandar Abbas. From Mumbai, it will reach the Bandar Abbas, and then from Bandar Abbas, it will go to, this is Bandar Abzali. From Bandar Abzali, again, it will pass through Azerbaijan, that is Baku. So, it is Iran, then Azerbaijan, Baku, and then it will enter Russia here. Okay. So, they are planning to construct a corridor. So, through this, what will happen? The route is shortened. If India wants to export anything, it doesn't need to pass through Bab el Mandab Strait or Suez Canal or Mediterranean Sea. It can just send all the goods through this international north-south transport corridor. That's why they have established this international north-south transport corridor. It is a multimodal, that is ship, rail and road route for moving freight between India, Russia, Iran, Europe and Central Asia. The primary objective of this international north-south transport corridor is to reduce the costs in terms of time and money. So, they want to reduce the time and then the money, since the traditional route is very long. So, by this international transport corridor, the transport is becoming 30% cheaper and 40% shorter. So, which is advantageous. Again, it boosts the trade. Russia, Iran and India signed this agreement to start in 2002. So, initially it was started only between the three nations, that is Russia, Iran and India, and over the period of time many nations came and participated in this. So, these are all the three founding members, that is Russia, India and Iran, and later all these nations became the part of it. So, presently there are 13 members. So, let us understand, identify who are all the 13 members. So, number 1 is India here. So, I've grouped them based on the region so that we can easily remember. So, India here, that is number 1. Next, from the Middle East, we are having Iran as 2, then Oman as 3, and then we are having Syria. So, from Middle East, we are having 3 nations, that is Iran, Oman and Syria. Next, we will go to Eurasia. So, in this Eurasian region, we are having Turkey, Azerbaijan, and here this nation is called Armenia. So, Azerbaijan we are having it as 5, Armenia 6 and Turkey as 7. So, next we are having the other 3, that is we are having Kazakhstan here, Tajikistan here and Kyrgyzstan, Tajikistan here and Kyrgyzstan here. So, we are having another 8, 9 and 10, and finally we are having Russia, Belarus and Ukraine. So, totally 13 members, that is India. And then from Middle East we are having 3, that is Oman, Iran and Syria. From Eurasia we are having Turkey, Azerbaijan and Armenia. Then from Central Asia we are having Kyrgyzstan and Tajikistan and Kazakhstan. And then finally here we are having Russia, Belarus and Ukraine. So, all these nations will be connected through this corridor. Like for example, the first point is Bandar Abbas port here. From this Bandar Abbas port, what they are planning to do is, they are planning to connect here with Zahadan. We know we are having Chabahar port here and Zahadan here. They will be connecting it with Zahadan, and from Zahadan it will be going to Afghanistan, and from Afghanistan it will reach Tajikistan and Kyrgyzstan. Like this there will be a road, and from Kyrgyzstan it will go to Kazakhstan. So, this is one corridor. So, this is another corridor which they are planning to construct. So, from Syria they are planning to construct another corridor. They are planning to construct another corridor through Greece. So, likewise they are planning to construct multimodal corridors. Now, Bulgaria has joined as a observer member. Okay. Now, they are planning with the bringing in Greece also. If Greece comes in, then what will happen? There will be another corridor ready here. So, likewise, Russia wants to connect with the Mediterranean Sea and Indian Sea. So, that's why they have launched this international north-south transport corridor. See, actually, INCTC is aiming on mainly for Indian Ocean only. So, that is this international north-south transport corridor which is related to Russia. So, here the link with the Chabahar port is that Indian government is deciding to construct the Chabahar port and Chabahar-Zahadan railway line. This international north-south transport corridor links with the Zahadan here. So, that is the strategic importance. And next we are having another agreement called Ashgabat Agreement. Ashgabat Agreement is a multimodal. Again, it is also a multimodal transport agreement within the Central Asian nations. So, here international north-south transport corridor was Russia-centric, but Ashgabat Agreement is Central Asian nations centric. So, Central Asian nations are Kazakhstan, Uzbekistan and Turkmenistan. So, if you could see in the same map, in the international north-south transport corridor, we had Kyrgyzstan and Tajikistan, and Prime Minister Modi also invited Turkmenistan to join. But now, in the Ashgabat Agreement, we are having these 3 nations, Kazakhstan, Uzbekistan and Turkmenistan. So, in this Ashgabat Agreement, see the membership. Kazakhstan, Uzbekistan, Turkmenistan, Iran, India, Pakistan and Oman. So, if you could see here, again, this link is established. Iran, Turkmenistan, Uzbekistan, Kazakhstan. Okay, so this link is established here. Through International North-South Transport Corridor, we established this link. What they are planning to do is they are planning to merge this Ashgabat agreement with International North-South Transport Corridor. So if these two are merged, again further connectivity is enhanced. So the thing which you have to remember is International North-South Transport Corridor is Russia-centric. Ashgabat agreement is a separate agreement for improving the connectivity between India, Iran and Central Asia. Okay, so that is a separate agreement. Now what is happening? These two separate agreements, they are planning to merge it. By merging, it will further enhance the connectivity. So the synergy will further enhance the connectivity. So creating international transport and transit corridor, facilitating transportation of goods between Central Asia and Persian Gulf. So that's why, if you could remember, Iran was connecting here. They were extending from Zahadan to Mashhad and then to Sharks to reach the Turkmenistan. Why they were doing it? In order to extend it to Ashgabat agreement. That's why. So that is the link between the Chabahar port and Ashgabat agreement. You have to just know the differences. So who are all the members in the International North-South Transport Corridor and who are all the members in the Ashgabat agreement? Because that might be confusing. The common members are Iran, India, Oman and Kazakhstan. So these four are only the common members of both. Pakistan is a member of Ashgabat agreement. You have to remember this. Okay, Pakistan is also member of Ashgabat agreement, but it is not member of International North-South Transport Corridor. Similarly, Uzbekistan and Turkmenistan also. So UPSC will ask which of the following nations are members. So in that aspect, you have to be clear with this. So this agreement came into force in 2016. Ashgabat in Turkmenistan is a depository state. So Ashgabat is the capital of Turkmenistan, and that is the depository state, means that handles the secretariat of Ashgabat agreement. So in today's video, we saw the Chabahar port and the Chabahar port Zahadan, then Zaranj and Delaram. So this is actually India's project, but this project has its link with other two agreements, that is International North-South Transport Corridor with Russia and also the International North-South Transport Corridor, one route is this, another route is it extends till Kyrgyzstan, and another thing is Ashgabat agreement, which is going to Kazakhstan. Okay, so this is Ashgabat agreement and this is International North-South Transport Corridor. So this is the distinction which you have to understand. Now they are all going to merge it. So thank you guys. In this video we discussed about the Chabahar port, the timeline of development of Chabahar port and the issues related with it, and we also discussed the importance of Chabahar port for India, Iran and Afghanistan, and finally we also understood what is this International North-South Transport Corridor and the Ashgabat agreement and the differences between the both. The differences is very important for preliminary point of view, especially the member states, who are all the members. So that is the only area where UPSC can ask. So remember that, and also see the maps associated. So map question also can come from this area. Okay, so thank you guys. We'll see in another video.